Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Scratch. We're going to learn how to create a calculator and use function blocks. So let's go ahead and get started. I have already uploaded the backdrop of a calculator image on my stage. Apart from that, I have uploaded five sprites of the operations that the calculator will be able to perform. I have resized all of these to the size 25 apart from the clear operator which is of size 38. After which we are now going to move on to the coding part. So let's go ahead and get started. After having uploaded the backdrop and the sprites, we are now going to go ahead and create four variables. Let's see how we're going to do that. So we're going to click on the variables tab and click on make a variable. We will be creating two variables of the numbers that the user is going to input, namely number one and number two. Apart from that, the third variable is going to be our answer that will be displayed on the screen. So I don't want these variables to be on the stage in the way that number one, number two, and answer is written. So I'm going to right click on the first variable and then click on large readout and place this number over here. Then I'm going to click on the second variable, which is number two, make it large readout again and place that number over here. The answer finally also is going to be a large readout and will be placed over here where we usually get the answer in the calculator. Okay, having created these three variables, we are now going to create the fourth variable, which is basically for the computing purpose, calculating the answers and all. And in order to get the benefits of a default variable, we have renamed my variable which was already present over here to value. Value will basically be used to store the answers and then display them on the answer screen over here using the answer variable. So we have two variables that will hold the answer. First is the answer variable that we created, which will show the final answer over here. Second one is the default variable, the my variable, which we renamed to value, which will also hold the answer for the same. Okay, so after having done this, let us go ahead and code for individual sprites first. So I am going to go ahead and click on add, make sure that the watermark of add sprite is visible over here, and then go on to events and drag and drop when this sprite is clicked, broadcast a message one and generate a new message that will be add, and go on and do that for the rest of the sprites as well. So for division again, it will go when this sprite is clicked, broadcast divide, then for multiplication, when this sprite is clicked, broadcast multiply, and lastly subtraction. So when this sprite is clicked, broadcast subtract. With this, we are done coding for the sprites. The rest of the major coding will be done for the backdrop which we have uploaded. So in order to do that, you will have to click on this backdrop icon over here that tells us that okay, you are coding for the backdrop right now. Okay, so with this, we're going to have a watermark image of the backdrop onto our coding screen. So let's go ahead and get started. Now we're going to kickstart with creating custom blocks for ourselves. For that, we are going to go and click on my blocks, then click on make a block, and let's rename this block to add and click OK. Okay, so now that we've created a custom function block that is add, we are now going to define for add what is it that add is going to do. So for that, we are going to go to the variables, drag and drop set answer to, and Instead of answer, it's going to be value. And how is it going to calculate the value? We're going to go to operators and drag and drop the first code block, that is the addition code block, onto our screen, and then go to variables and drag and drop number 1 and number 2 respectively into the two places that we have. Okay, so with this we have defined add. Add is basically going to add the number 1 and number 2 that we get from the user and store the outcome into the value variable that we've created, and we would then want this particular answer to be displayed on the screen, for which we are going to go again to the variable category and drag and drop set answer to and set answer to the value. Okay, so with this we have defined add. Let's go ahead and define the remaining operations also. So make a code block, divide. Okay, let's place add over here, define divide over here. Again, go to variables, set answer to. Instead of answer, it is going to be value. Then again go to operators and pick up this code block that says divide, and let's divide number 1 by number 2. Okay, and then again set answer to variable. With this, go to my blocks again, make a new code block, subtract, and define subtract over here. Again go to variables, drag and drop set answer to. Instead of answer, it is again going to be value. Then going to operators again, and from variables put number 1 and number 2 over here, set answer to the value. And lastly, for multiplication, we are going to create another code block after arranging all of these in line. So define multiply, go to variables again, set value to, go to operators, pick the one with the asterisk, and then again back to variables and put the number 1 and number 2 over here. Okay, there. And then again set answer to the variable. With this we have now created function blocks for ourselves. After having done that, with this we've now created for addition, division, multiplication and subtraction, and defined that okay, what is it that they're going to do. After having done that, let us now code for how is this program going to take input from the user, for which on this very same coding window we are going to create another function block that is clear, and now define for clear. So first off, let's go to variables and set all the values to 0 of the variables. Number 1, set it to 0. Number 2, set it to 0. And set the answer as well to 0. After having done that, let's go to sensing and ask for the user to enter the first number, and then set the variable number 1 to the answer whatever we get from this code block, which is asking for the first number. Do the same for the second number, enter the second number, and then again set the value of the variable number 2 to the answer that we get from the previous code block. Okay, so with this we are done defining the clear as well. Clicking on the clear should be able to kickstart the calculator by asking the user for the first number and then the second number. The rest of the code blocks have been defined previously, like we did over here. Now let's see how the user will be able to select the addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction. So first off, it is not necessary that the user will first have to click clear and it's only then that the calculator is going to start. So let's link the on event and the clear both. So let's go to events category, drag and drop when green flag is clicked. I'll have to minimize the screen a little and rearrange these code blocks so that all of them are visible on the screen. Okay, so when the green flag is clicked, um, then go to my blocks. Okay, so the moment green flag is clicked, everything is going to wipe off of the calculator. All the variables will be set to 0 and the calculator is then going to ask you for the first number. Then go to events, and when I receive add, do what? Add. Again go to events. When I receive divide, then go ahead and divide. Again events. When I receive multiply, then go ahead and multiply by using the blocks that we've created and defined their function. And lastly, when I receive subtract, go ahead and subtract. Okay, so this was the coding for the backdrop, and with this the calculator is good to go. Let's go ahead and try this one out. So it's there asking for my first number, let it be 2, press enter, enter the second number, that is 2, and click on add. There it is, my answer 4. Okay, so that's it for this class. Go ahead and try this out yourself. Thank you for joining. Happy tinkering.